Our Wendy's High School Male Athlete of the Week. He is now the back-to-back champion in the Centennial League Wrestling for the boys at the 182-pound mark after picking up a victory this past week at the Centennial League meet. Washburn Rural senior Remington Stiles. And Remington, let's just go right there to your most recent win at the Centennial League meet, back-to-back league championships. So congratulations on the honor first. What was clicking for you? What just felt right about your performance at the Centennial League meet this past week?
Well, one of the big changes that we made this week was I've been underweight a lot. So this week we had to make some changes to my diet since this year I'm actually I have to work on my weight. And I've noticed that in competition that's made me slow and sluggish. But this week I talked to my coaches and I got my diet under control and I felt a lot stronger this week. So that was a big change that we made.
You went into the finals at the Centennial League meet. You actually led off the event for Washburn Rural as opposed to later in the event anchoring it, if you will. That's not very common for someone wrestling at the 182-pound mark. For someone who maybe doesn't know a ton about wrestling or competitive wrestling, what is the difference for you going from usually being at the end of the line to all of a sudden being at the front?
Sure. So our school has a very strong lower weight class going all the way up, starting at 106, we hit hard. And so usually I've got that momentum going into my match, but this time I had to be the momentum, starting 3/4 of the way up. It was my job to start things off for my team.
Now, you at the Centennial League meet, you took on a wrestler who you had already lost to a little bit earlier. You come back, you pick up a big victory. Mentally, what was kind of your mindset going into a match against someone who had bested you the first time, knowing what the odds were, what the chances were of success in a championship if you beat him the second time? What was kind of your mindset going into that second matchup?
Sure. So he's a good wrestler, and we've wrestled before, and it's always been real close. But I knew that as long as I could keep it close, I'd have a good shot. And I just got the lead early, and I held on to that lead, and I stuck to my stuff and kept him off. And that was a big difference.
We're talking to Remington Stiles, a senior from Washburn Rural Wrestling, the two-time now champion of the Centennial League at the 182-pound mark. He's our Wendy's High School Athlete of the Week. When you look back now, you take a step back and you look at winning a league championship back-to-back years. I know there are more goals and more things that can be won over the course of time, but how much does it mean to you and, just how proud of you are this specific achievement to be able to do it back-to-back years?
That's great. My first tournament I won was Centennial League last year, and to be able to cap it off my senior year feels really good. Our coach talks a lot about putting pennies in the jar. It's a small difference, but you put that penny in the jar every day, and this is the year that we're taking the pennies to the bank and we're going to cash them in.
Now, when you think back to this offseason, the craziest offseason of anybody's life, and you thought about what do I want to accomplish in the 2020-2021 year, was a Centennial League championship one of those goals? Were they more oriented on first state? Were they more team-oriented? Can you kind of take us back to what some of your goals were and if a Centennial League title was included among them?
Well, this summer I was actually slated to get my pilot's license on a scholarship. So Centennial was very far from my mind. But coming back, I set my mind to wrestling. I decided, one opportunity has passed due to the virus, and so I'm going to make the best of what I've got. And so I put a lot of work in. I worked really hard all through the summer to get where I am now.
We're talking to Washburn Rural Wrestling senior Remington Stiles, our Wendy's High School Male Athlete of the Week. But Remington, before we get on to the wrestling future for you and the rest of the season, we have to talk about what you just mentioned and trying to get your pilot's license. And obviously things have changed so much due to the pandemic. But tell us a little bit about your interest or love of flying and what that process has been like for you trying to become a licensed pilot.
Sure. So I'm in the Air Force Junior ROTC at my school. And we have a program in which we can apply and get accepted for a scholarship through the Air Force to get our private pilot's license. And I was actually selected. I was very fortunate for that. It's a very selective process as it's very expensive for the Air Force. And my family's got a great background in aviation. And that's been one of my dreams for the longest time. But with sports, I put sports first ahead of the aviation. And this was my chance to finally put aviation first. But unfortunately, that fell through. So I was back to sports. But in looking to the future, that's definitely one of my goals. Especially I intend to join the Air Force and become a pilot. So it's all kind of working towards that ultimate goal.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic, and congratulations on that career path and everything you're looking ahead to. So, I will ask you this then: with that in your future and joining the Air Force as a pilot in the future, and not all that far down the line in the grand scheme of things, as you finish up your final season of high school wrestling, what kind of things are you hoping to accomplish to wrap up a decorated so far high school career?
Well, you hate to jinx it, but we're definitely looking at the postseason right now. We're getting close and closer every day, and our goal is definitely to do something that's never been done before for our program.
Well, Remington Stiles is having a phenomenal season so far at 182 pounds, now the two-time champion in the Centennial League, and he joins us as our Wendy's High School Male Athlete of the Week. Remington, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished this season, and good luck with everything coming in the future, wrestling and Air Force-wise.
Thank you.